Nate, have you seen that the Tory party and Kemi Badenoch has come out with an all-new energy policy? Tories pledge to get all oil and gas out of the North Sea. Now, can
Brilliant.
I muster even an ironic, slow hand clap? No. No.
Oh dear.
Nobody
This-
cares, Kemi. Nobody cares what you're saying, what you're talking about. You're a joke.
Oh,
You're a
you
joke,
can see it on
love.
my face.
There's a few people in the upper echelons of the Tory party that want, like a few dozen people that wanted her to be leader. Everyone else thinks she's a joke. She is, at a glance, a joke. Oh, you're going to get all the oil and gas out of the North Sea, are you? Yeah, don't care. Next thing, what else? What's the next thing on my feed? What's the next thing? Because nobody cares. You're not going to do that anyway. You're trying to act hard. You're trying to act like you're the response, the riposte to the likes of the Lib Dems and the Green Party and Just Stop Oil. You're going to be a hardline enemy of those people. No, you're not. No one buys it. Nobody cares. You're a joke. I mean,
Yeah,
what do you?
you can see it on her face. You can see that she's like every time she talks, you can see it. She looks scared. She's like a deer caught in the headlights. Honestly, there's nothing. The lights are on, but nobody's home, sort of thing, right? That's
Yeah,
Kemi. And
yeah.
as you say, right, like sure, but sure, you've said a thing. No one believes you're going to do this. No one believes you're going to do anything. You are weak sauce. The Conservatives signed their death certificate when they elected this absolute douche.
Mm,
And
mm.
in that act, you know, because it wasn't just the fact that they kept betraying the country for so long either, right? In the act of electing Kemi, they signed their death certificate because they revealed just how absolutely out of touch they are with the nation and the current trajectory of politics. Oh, you're going to put a Nigerian in charge of your party, of the supposed right-wing party? Behave. Who thought that was a good idea? Oh, well, we know Conservatives did. So well done. Well done. Well done. Slow clap, slow clap, slow clap. This, you're not going to do it. You're just not going to do it. This, you're not going to do. And also, who cares even if you do? What does that mean? Like,
Nobody wants this woman to be Prime Minister. Hardly anybody. There's a few virtual signalers at the top of the Tory party, right, that picked her over Jenrick or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. It couldn't have been a worse choice. Oh well, if you want to see them die on their ass, it's a great choice. But beyond that, like they're still the formal opposition. His Majesty's opposition is led by her, right? Nobody wants her. No one's enthusiastic about seeing her as Prime Minister in Number 10. Nobody. It's laughable. It's honestly laughable. I think they signed their death warrant when they cooed Boris. Now, I hate
yeah,
Boris with a vengeance. Boris would be second on the list after Blair. I despise Boris. But I think that the party really shot themselves in the head when they cooed him, right? Because already Theresa May had a go, right? Wasn't getting it done. So they got in the big beast. They got Boris in to get Brexit done. Okay, that happens. Okay, Boris commits some of the worst crimes ever committed against this country in terms of flooding us with the Boris wave and putting us all under house arrest on the strength of a COVID liar. Okay, but to coup him out, just completely internally, 1922 committee stuff, put in Liz Truss, and then immediately decide that she's that, like, what a joke that was. What a joke she is and her premiership was. Then to then immediately coup her out and replace it with Rishi. Right? That they shut that whole period of getting rid of Boris and ending up with Rishi. That's when they shot themselves in the head. Nobody wanted this. Nobody wanted Rishi to be prime minister and talk about stopping the boats all the time and not doing it. Nobody wanted any of that. And then their worst election result ever, and then they pick Badenoch. They're done. They're done. It is like a parody. It is like a joke. It is like a bad joke, like a comedy sketch or something. She's like a comedy sketch.
Mm.
Oh, you've got this really hardline energy policy now. Shut up, love. Pipe down. Go away. Nobody.
Yeah,
cares.
I mean, it's
Nobody
also
cares.
just such nonsense that it's just like, oh, Kemi. This is the BBC. So Kemi Badenoch has said her party will remove all net zero requirements on oil and gas companies. No, they won't, because they implemented them. No, they won't. No, they won't, because they put them in. They had the chance to remove them. They chose not to. In fact, I'm pretty certain under the Conservatives they accelerated it. Right? Like they brought that forward. No, you won't. No, you won't. You're terminally insane. You're on a death spiral, a suicidal death spiral of globo homo. No, mate, you won't be doing anything. You won't do anything. This is all claptrap nonsense. No one buys it. No one cares. It's absolute trash. If you were going to do this, you would have done it already. You'd have done it to save yourself. You'd have announced this in the lead up to the general election, but you didn't announce anything. Where's your policies? Like, what are you standing on? Nothing. Not that anyone will believe you anyway. But this is nonsense. This is absolute nonsense.
Yeah, I think you're right to call it some sort of suicidal death spiral, virtue signaling, LGBTQ, globo homo, fifth columnist bullshit. Yeah, death spiral. Yeah. At this point, I honestly find some of the most contemptible people are Tory boys, hardline people that remain completely and staunchly loyal to the Tory party. They're some of the most contemptible people. At least the Islamist types, they're acting out of conviction. At least you can still make some sort of argument for the reformists, that they're just realists, that Nigel is leading in the polls. Like, that isn't a completely insane argument. That is, I mean, I don't buy it, and I will never get on that bandwagon. But it is an argument that has a logic to it. Okay, if you're like a hardline, old school Labour voter, and you're dyed in the wool and blah 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 blah, and you're a socialist, then okay, I hate it, but it makes some sort of sense. But these hardline sort of the few remaining like Tory boys, like on Twitter the other day, a few weeks ago, I had a little interaction with someone that was saying, "Oh, bring Boris back. We want Boris back. Bring back the boss." It's like that's sort of the most contemptible thing I can think of in the current British political scene. That's the position you've decided to take. That to be still a hardline Tory voter. No, there was nothing really wrong with. Essentially, there's nothing profoundly wrong with the last 14 years of Tory rule. There was nothing. I was happy with Rishi. I was happy with what they did with Liz Truss. It was all perfectly in line with my thinking. And now Kemi Badenoch has come along, and I'm all for her. I'm all behind her. You pieces of shit. Fuck you. Idiots, morons, laughable. It is laughable. It isn't even worthy of an ironic slow hand clap, is it? It's like this. It's like maggots. Yeah. These are worms. And people like that. It's contemptible. I think the best word I can find is contemptible. I've got nothing but scorn for them, slight regard, contempt. Kemi is what a loser.
Yeah, absolute well, also she's supposedly massively lazy as well. Charisma vacuum. No one cares what she's got to say. She's the least
turn up on time, apparently. Sorry to speak over there.
Yeah, no, she doesn't turn up. Yeah, doesn't come prepared for meetings. Just again, like charisma vacuum. No one's interested in anything she's got to say. She is just not an interesting person. You speak to some people in life, and you're like, yeah, like you're an interesting person. You know, like there's something about you. She's got nothing going on. There's nothing going on. She's a vacuous, empty vessel for conservative globo homo shit. And so this article confirms it. I thought this was the case. Obviously was the case. That it was a conservative climate policy, basically. Successive UK governments pledged it, and then Theresa May wrote it into law. God. Well, it just confirms once again more and more how absolutely disgusting the Conservatives truly are. They really are absolutely foul.
I think it's an important point to say about her lack of charisma, because to be a leader, not just of a political party, but any sort of leader where your personal leadership matters. It can be in an army, it can even be a sort of a CEO of a big company where the CEO has a frontline role. You know, not all CEOs do or need to, but some do. When that's important, right? When personal charisma actually matters. So in a political party, sometimes you can get away with not having any if your party or your base is extremely big and strong. So, for example, I'm thinking of Gordon Brown. Gordon Brown's a classic example of a man with no charisma. However, he piggybacked on, or was able to pick up directly after the Blair years, and got himself just about one premiership. Okay, but if that's not the case, if you don't find yourself at the pinnacle of an already big and powerful and strong movement with lots of momentum, if that's not the case, then having no charisma is the whole ball game, right? You're not going to get anywhere. Like, we throw shade at Nigel all the time, don't we? From multiple different angles. But you cannot deny he's got charisma. I don't agree with his policies, and I think he's weak sauce, blah, 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 blah. He's got charisma. I've seen
100%.
him in a room. I went to a party conference, 3 years ago now, whenever it was. And when he walked in the room and started speaking, you could tell he was a tier above all the other speakers. You've got Anne Widdecombe on stage, rattling on like Anne Widdecombe. Yeah. You get Richard Tice come on stage and pretend to be a charismatic person, but he's not, right? You even get somebody like, there's other people were talkers, and they're articulate people. They're interesting. They've got some charisma, but then when Nige came on, there was a little bit of electric in the room. He did work the room, sort of effortlessly. So okay, some people have got charisma, some haven't. I mean, Keir Starmer's a good example of a man with almost no charisma. But yeah, he happened to find himself at the right place and the right time, politically speaking, to take advantage of a complete implosion of the Rishi government. Okay, so that's how that happened. Well, Kemi's doesn't find herself in that situation. If she's going to draw the Tory party out from the abyss, she would need to do it really with a force of character. And that's exactly what she hasn't got. So I'm here for it. It's funny. I am glad that they went with Kemi over Jenrick, because I want to see the Tory party completely implode and die. So good. It's funny.
#0 seats.